he was a Heisman finalist whose athleticism in college football came only second to Peyton Manning. In fact, a lot of people thought he was better.
With the second choice in the draft, the San Diego Chargers select quarterback, Washington State University, Ryan Leaf.
But Ryan Leaf's fall from grace began the moment he was selected in the 1998 draft. 4 years later, couldn't fulfill his football potential. After retiring abruptly from the NFL, Leaf found himself addicted to Vicodin, even burglarizing homes to fuel his habit, which landed him in prison for 2 years. Now sober, he has a message for young athletes in trouble, like, for example, Johnny Manziel specifically. Ryan Leaf is now a program ambassador for Transcend Recovery Communities. Ryan, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you don't, but the day after you were drafted, you came into Fox News, and I interviewed you that day.
I do. I remember most of it. It was a whirlwind, though, of course, especially when you're 22 years old.
And a lot of people thought you were going to be better than Peyton Manning.
Well, I hoped so.
Right.
But clearly he was able to work harder than I could or did, and you could see by the results.
Right. So, Ryan, why did you end up where you ended up? You're not saying here, hey, I was addicted to drugs as a player and I ended up in jail. No, during that time, what was wrong?
I think that behaviorally, for me, it started a long time ago. It wasn't necessarily about that. I had never failed until I got to the highest level. And when I did, I didn't know how to deal with it in a healthy way at all. I didn't ask for help. I didn't accept help when offered.
And you said, like, no one sees the big, strong football player who seems to have it all, ask for help. So, therefore, there was no precedent for you.
Yeah, you don't. When you watch movies or TV, you don't see the star quarterback standing in front of the team asking them for help. That's usually vice versa. And I never looked at it as a strength. I saw vulnerability as a weakness, and I could never turn to that until ultimately I had to be humbled. To the point that I did.
So, Ryan, after you're done, you started trying to find your identity. You start coaching for a while, but you also have a problem with prescription drugs.
Yeah, I had many orthopedic surgeries. That's how I was introduced to the drug. But ultimately, I was taking it because I had emotional problems.
Because you said you were addicted before you were doing drugs. What do you mean?
When I talk
you were an addict.
Yeah, and when I talk to young adults out there, I tell them that I was an addict long before I ever took a drug because of the behaviors that I know now happen from being an addict. The fear, the judgment, the insecurity, all those things manifest themselves into that boorish behavior, the way I acted to reporters, the way I acted to my teammates.
So then we see Johnny Manziel come out of nowhere. It's almost identical. You're a different style quarterback, much bigger, and everyone thought you were going to be the best. He was battling to stay in the first round. But not only that, he gets picked in the first round, gets the starting job twice, and lost it by his own behavior.
Well, this happens to anybody who's addicted to anything. It's about substance abuse. It's about whatever you use as a maladaptive behavior. People use sex. People use gambling. People use alcohol. It helps them numb whatever they're feeling. And I can relate totally to what he's going through. I've said that it's like holding up a mirror sometimes to see the behaviors that he's exhibiting.
So I've seen so many people go to rehab, it didn't work, and then we have rehab different places now advertising for people. You'll get behind Transcend Recovery Communities. What do they bring to you that worked for Ryan Leaf?
I think the integrity behind what they do, they care. It's about community, it's about accountability, and it's about spirituality. I think those are three important things for me. I do things completely different than I did just 4 years ago. It's a 180-degree lifestyle change, and it's been instrumental that I stay in the recovery community, and working for them and being their program ambassador has been not only helpful for me, but I think it's helped other people who are struggling, and that's the most important part.
And you had to go to prison, you believe, in order to get to rehab, to fully get committed to changing?
Yeah, I do. I think that I had to be humbled to the point of waking up on a prison floor. Why didn't I get it the first time when I got in trouble in Texas for doctor shopping? Why didn't I get it then? I had to be humbled to the point where I was willing to take my life. That's where those pills take you, and that's the epidemic in this country. And Transcend offers people solutions and options, and it's about saving lives for them.
So both you and Peyton Manning, linked forever, are both starting new chapters in their lives at exactly the same age, going through very different time zones. Are you okay being Ryan Leaf today?
I am. I say the mantra every morning, the affirmation that what other people think of me is none of my business, and it's taken a long time for me to get healthy with that, but I do it every day, and I go out and tell my story because it's about the message and not the messenger. As long as I understand that this has nothing to do with me, but but about helping the guy that struggles, because I don't want anybody to be as miserable as I was.
I think people can relate to your story as much as even maybe more than Peyton Manning, because no one understands that type of greatness. People understand the redemption and the recovery process.
I think for me, being in the public eye so much allowed me to get help easier. Those people that are in the shadows, it's difficult for them because no one really sees it. Right. So I wish them the best for sure.
Ryan, hopefully they saw it and they're going to empower them to get going and get some help.
Thank you, Brian.
Great to see you.
Yes, sir.
All right, and best of luck.
Yes,
best
sir.
of luck. All right, coming straight ahead. The man who shot Bin Laden